What is going on, YouTube? It is RandyTalksMets in the building, and this video is going to be about the state of the Mets rotation. We'll get into the state of the Mets rotation. What's the latest on the Mets rotation? What are they doing? We'll get into it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. But definitely, guys, let's get into the video. We're on the road to 300 subscribers. Let's keep it going. Leave a like, comment, push those notifications, and let's get it going. Okay, guys, you know, the state of the rotation right now, obviously, Jacob deGrom was a big loss for this team. You know, Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer, we had one of the best 1-2 punches to come in such a long time. And, you know, now Jacob deGrom being down, he's not going to be back for probably 2 months. So the Mets have to move without Jacob deGrom. And a team, you know, that just signed Max Scherzer can definitely do that, you know, if Max Scherzer is healthy. And that's really the question. So yeah, Jacob deGrom was the big loss, guys, but let's get into Max Scherzer. You know, Max Scherzer, you know, we signed him for 3 years. This guy is definitely, you know, Cy Young 3 times. You know, he's been a champion in 2019. He has postseason experience. He is a top-of-the-line caliber pitcher, an ace. So the fact that, you know, we lost Jacob deGrom, but we get to replace Jacob deGrom basically with Max Scherzer, you know, this is really the only team that could possibly lose an ace and, you know, still have an ace. So Max Scherzer still being with the Mets, you know, it's really his health. That's really the question, his health. And the latest with Max Scherzer is he pitched a bullpen session and his hamstring, you know, fared well. There wasn't really a problem there. And that was, you know, today, Tuesday. So definitely, you know, tomorrow he'll do more work, but Thursday he'll do some on-field work. And then after the on-field work, if he's ready, he can pitch the second game of the opening week, which is going to be the second game of the season, and it's going to be Friday. So that game will be on Apple TV or something like that. Or, yeah, it's going to be on something like that. So definitely, guys, Max Scherzer, we know what he has accomplished. We know what he has done. He has to perform for New York. We know the pressure. You know, Steve Cohen getting one of the best pitchers in the major leagues and, you know, basically putting his checkbook right in front of him and telling him, listen, you know what I'm saying? Take this team. You got this. And we believe in you. So, yeah, Max Scherzer is going to be very important to the Mets. You know, obviously, Max Scherzer, like I said, he has postseason experience. He has done so much. So, guys, let's get into, you know, that will be number 1. Number 2 starter is going to be Chris Bassett. And, you know, Chris Bassett, I really like Chris Bassett. He has top-of-the-line stuff as well. You know, he's had some shaky spring outings, but some pretty good ones. I say definitely, guys, Chris Bassett is a big addition to this team as well. You know, with the loss of Marcus Stroman and the loss of Noah Syndergaard, the team needed to make another acquisition. And they wasn't just going to live with Tai John Walker and Carrasco just being in the rotation. So the fact that they traded for Chris Bassett shows that they wanted to improve the rotation. And they definitely did that. They got a top-of-the-line caliber pitcher, a guy that has, you know, plus stuff. Definitely, you know, 33 years old. This guy is very talented. You know, last season, he went 12-4, had an ERA of 3.15. So definitely, guys, Chris Bassett gives you you know, so much. So hopefully he does perform very well for New York. Hopefully, you know, he learns New York, and hopefully he just, you know, thrives in New York, because that's a really big thing for Chris Bassett. I want Chris Bassett to thrive in New York. I want him to do very good. I want him to carry this rotation with Max Scherzer until Jacob deGrom comes back, or until the Mets make another move. And, yeah, we'll get into that a little later. But definitely, you know, Chris Bassett is very important. Like I said, 12 wins, 4 losses last year. You know, 2021 All-Star, 3.15 ERA. I'll take it. Definitely, I'll take it. I love it. You know, he is going to be a free agent after this season. So the Mets will only have Chris Bassett under contract for this season, you know, because obviously he's going to be a free agent next season. So, definitely Chris Bassett is very important, you know. So let me know what you guys think about Chris Bassett. Are you guys excited about Chris Bassett? Do you guys have any concerns about Chris Bassett? Let me know. But definitely, I'm excited. I really like what Chris Bassett has shown. Like I said, he is an all-star. You know, he had a great season last season. So we'll see what happens with Chris Bassett. Hopefully he does take this team, take this team by the reins as well, just like Max Scherzer, and carries the rotation, because definitely they're going to have to. They're going to have to. And, yeah, Chris Bassett is very, very important, guys. Now let's get into number 3. Number 3, Tai John Walker. Tai John Walker definitely last season, was having a really, really good first half and then had a really, really bad second half. And basically his 2021 record was 7-11. So he won 7 games, lost 11 games, had an ERA of 4.47 in 30 games. Now, I'll tell you this, that is not impressive. His first half was impressive because, he was an all-star, and that was his first time being an all-star last year. Definitely Tai John Walker is very important to the team as well. The team needs Tai John Walker more because of Jacob deGrom, going down. So Tai John Walker has to perform. He has to do good. And today he had a spring training game and did terrible. So hopefully, we can't say a lot about spring training, but hopefully in the regular season, Tai John Walker is ready to perform and do very good for this team. And yeah, because we need him. Tai John Walker is very, very important to this team. Tai John Walker doesn't have like the plus 97, fastball, but definitely, he has some good stuff. He can definitely strike out some guys. He could definitely get some outs. He's a pretty, 29 years old. So this guy, he was a first-round draft pick from Seattle in 2010. So he still has, talent, okay? So Tai John Walker is going to be our number 3 starter. Definitely, this is how I would put the rotation. If this is how me personally, I would put the rotation. Number 3, I'll put Tai John Walker. I know that, like I said, he had a rough second half. Definitely a great first half. So hopefully he can build on that, get better, and we'll see what happens with that. But definitely, guys, 2021, it was looking really, really good. And then, he just collapsed in the second half. So hopefully he does learn from, his mistakes, learn from that, and doesn't tip his pitches. I noticed that Tai John Walker tipped his pitches a lot last year, had a lot of issues with that. And, a lot of guys were just hitting him, hitting a lot of home runs. So a home run is really an issue as well for Tai John Walker. But yeah, guys, we'll see what happens. That's going to be our number 3 starter. And now let's get into our number 4 starter. And it's probably going to be Carlos Carrasco. Me personally, I'm not a fan of Carlos Carrasco. I like the guy. Carlos Carrasco is a nice guy. He's awesome. But the thing is, he has not performed very, very well in New York. And maybe the Mets did rush him back last year. Maybe they didn't, whatever it is. But, he is 35 years old, so he's not a young guy. Definitely Carlos Carrasco. We have him for 1 more year, which is this year. Definitely, guys, 2021, he went 1-5 with an ERA of 6.04. He pitched in 12 games. I say this about Carlos Carrasco, guys. He is very, very important to this team as well. Spring training, his ERA so far has been 5.40. So we can't say a lot about, spring training. But definitely Carlos Carrasco, it doesn't seem like, he's the old Carlos Carrasco that was in the Cleveland Guardians, Cleveland Guardians, so that's what they call themselves now. But definitely, Carlos Carrasco has some pretty good years, has some really nice years. Definitely, 2017 was a really great year for him. He went 18-6 with an ERA of 3.29. What is it called? 2016, he went 11-8. 2018, he went 17-10 with a 3.38. So he hasn't been always a great pitcher. His best ERA was definitely has to be in 2014 with a 2.55, but that's when he was younger. So we can't really say much about, what he did before, but it's about what he does now. That's what's important, what he does now for the team. And, he was just very unimpressive last year. A lot of people, he struggled in the first inning so much last year. And that's really a big issue with Carlos Carrasco. So if the Mets need an opener or, somebody that has to open for Carlos Carrasco and then he can just pitch the rest, of the innings of the game, then I'm fine with that. whatever way that we can find success for Carlos Carrasco is what's very, very important to this team. Clearly, I would say Carlos Carrasco is number 4. Right now, me personally, I would not put him as number 4. I would put probably Tyler Mcgill as number 4, and I'm going to get into Tyler Mcgill for you guys. So let's get into Tyler Mcgill, guys. Definitely, rookie. He was a rookie last year. 26 years old. Guy from California. Definitely was drafted in the 8th round of the 2018 MLB June Amateur Draft. Let's get into Tyler Mcgill. So, guys, we know Tyler Mcgill, and we know what we saw last year from him and how impressive he was when he first started with the Mets, when he first came up. He looked really, really good. His fastball is really good. He had a pretty good changeup as well. So, he has some stuff. He has some pitches there. Definitely Tyler Mcgill, guys, I would say has a lot of promise. First of all, 2021, he went 4-6, so he won 4 games. He lost 6 games with an ERA of 4.52 in 18 games. So the fact that, Tyler Mcgill, he looked pretty good at first, right? But then he struggled, and obviously we knew that Tyler Mcgill wasn't going to be the next Jacob deGrom, but, that's how it was looking for a second there. Like, Tyler Mcgill, he was pitching really, really good, but the thing is about Tyler Mcgill, he wasn't going past the 6th inning. He wasn't going past the 5th inning. So that was really an issue for the Tyler Mcgill. So hopefully this year, guys, Tyler Mcgill has been working on a cutter, to make him better. So he's trying to improve his repertoire. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to improve. So we'll see what happens with Tyler Mcgill. But I feel like personally, it's either Tyler Mcgill or Carlos Carrasco for that 4th spot, and they're probably going to give it to the Carlos Carrasco for that 4th spot. But I would say this, guys, Tyler Mcgill is young, still has tons of promise. This guy is good. I like what I've seen for Tyler Mcgill. I just feel like he needs to, get better, learn the majors, learn the baseball league, and yeah, just get better. Honestly, guys, the fact that he's improving, he's trying to improve himself and develop a cutter that he's been working on in spring training, that shows that he's trying to go to the next level. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to improve for this team, and he's trying to be ready. So we'll see what happens, guys, with Tyler Mcgill. But I like Tyler Mcgill. I personally like Tyler Mcgill. I like what I've seen from Tyler Mcgill. I think Tyler Mcgill is a very important piece for this team as well. Starting rotation. Obviously, so much starting rotation depth. Every team needs starting rotation depth, and Tyler Mcgill is definitely an asset to have on this team. So we'll see what happens with Tyler Mcgill. We'll see if he makes the Major League roster. We'll see if he goes to AAA. We'll see. But I really want Tyler Mcgill to make the Major League roster and to probably pitch in that 4th spot or 5th spot. But I'll get into the 5th spot next. So let's get into the 5th spot, guys. So definitely, let's talk about it. So definitely David Peterson. Okay? David Peterson from the New York Mets. Definitely, had a pretty good rookie year in 2020. He looked really good with his fastball. He looked good with his slider. His control looked really good. Honestly, he looked really good, to be honest. He went 6-2 with an ERA of 3.44. And you can't say a lot about the pandemic year because it was a 60-game shortened season. So you can't really say a lot about that. But definitely, guys, let's get into 2021 and David Peterson. So 2021 last year, David Peterson went 2-6 with an ERA of 5.54 in 15 games. So the fact that David Peterson went 2-6 with an ERA of 5.54 shows that he struggled a lot. Shows that, first of all, his control was off. A lot of things were off about him. He was allowing a lot of home runs. Definitely he allowed 11 home runs in 2021 over just 15 games. And that is still that's too much, to be honest. So guys, David Peterson, let's look at his spring training. His stats this year so far. Definitely, 1-1 with an ERA of 8.10 in 6.2 innings. So I say this about and he's allowed 3 home runs. So home runs is still an issue for David Peterson. Like I said, first of all, he was a first-round draft pick for this team. in 2017. So a lot of pressure is on David Peterson to be good. The Mets want him to be a really good, really good starter for this team. And I think personally, David Peterson can be a starter for this team. He can be a nice 4th, 5th starter for this team. I think he has really good stuff. I think he has to work on his control. He has to work on his slider. And I'll say this, guys, about David Peterson. He was injured last year. He did get injured and missed a lot of time last year, basically almost the whole season. So, after he pitched in those games. But I say this, guys, David Peterson is a very important piece for this team. He's still 26 years old, so still young. Definitely, he's not an old pitcher. Still young. Definitely can improve his fastball, his slider. He has a nice slider. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, Jeremy Hefner can help him out there. He is the pitching coach. But I want to see Peterson get better. I want to see Peterson get to the next level. I want to see Peterson be successful. So, guys, we'll see what happens with David Peterson. But I do like David Peterson as well. I think that he has nice stuff. I think that he just has to work on his control and work on his confidence. Confidence is a big issue for David Peterson. So, yeah, guys, we'll see. We'll see about that. But definitely, David Peterson is probably going to be our number 5th starter. Or probably what I'm hearing recently is David Peterson is traveling north, but they don't know if he's making the opening day roster or if he's going to be on the taxi squad. So if he's going to be on the taxi squad, he's going to be ready to go, once they call him up from the taxi squad. And, the rosters are expanded until May. So, guys, we'll see what happens with that. But let's get into another pitcher that I think is going to probably get the spot. It's probably going to get the spot. It's going to be Trevor Williams, guys. Trevor Williams is a guy that definitely, the guys that got from the Javier Baez trade, that came from Chicago. Definitely, guys, he's 29 years old. I think Trevor Williams is way better than Robert Gsellman. If you remember Robert Gsellman, this guy, has a beard as well. He has good stuff. Definitely Trevor Williams, guys, 29 years old. 2021, his wins were 4-2 with an ERA of 4.35. So he won 4 games, lost 2 games, and 4.35 ERA. Now, I would say this, guys, about Trevor Williams. I really liked what I saw from Trevor Williams last year. I think Trevor Williams is an asset for this team. I think, honestly, Trevor Williams is a really good asset for this team. This guy just goes after hitters. He's not afraid to go after hitters and get outs. He pitches to contact. He's not a 95 miles per hour thrower, but definitely he knows how to throw the ball and he knows how to get outs. So, guys, let me know what you guys think about Trevor Williams, but I really do like Trevor Williams as well. I think Trevor Williams is probably going to get the 5th spot if it's not going to be Tyler Mcgill, but it all depends on what the rotation is going to look like. But I say personally, I like Trevor Williams in that 5th spot. I think this guy can take the ball, every 5th day. And I think this guy can throw. And tell me that, you remember what Trevor Williams brought to this team last year. When the team needed an arm, when the team needed some innings, there was Trevor Williams. And Trevor Williams did his job, guys. He pitched 32.1 innings. Had an ERA of 3.6 innings. He's not going to be perfect, but he was a nice asset for this team. I think he can be a really good asset for this team as well. So I think personally, guys, Trevor Williams is going to be in the starting rotation. I hope he is. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see where we go from there. But guys, let me know what you guys think about the rotation. I'm just going to go over the rotation again. Definitely, guys, number 1 is going to be Max Scherzer, top of the line caliber. Hopefully he's healthy by the time, he's ready to pitch. So number 1, that is going to be our ace until Jacob deGrom comes back. Okay, number 2 is going to be Chris Bassett. Chris Bassett, like I said, has great stuff. I love what he has. He's basically has top of the line stuff. He has, and he's basically an ace, on any other team. So now let's get into number 3, and that's going to be Tai John Walker. And Tai John Walker has a lot of pressure. He has to perform. He has to do what he has to do. We'll see what Tai John Walker, does for this team. But I like Tai John Walker. So yeah, number 4 is going to be Carlos Carrasco. I have some concerns. I definitely have some concerns about Carlos Carrasco. So we'll see what happens there. I just feel like the Mets have to figure out how to make Carlos Carrasco successful. If they need an opener for Carlos Carrasco, then they got to do what they got to do. Now let's get into Tyler Miguel. Tyler Miguel, I think, is also probably a 4th starter, 5th starter. I think that he is very important as well. He's working on a cutter. He has a nice fastball. So, you know, he has really good stuff as well. He has a nice changeup. So, yeah, definitely. David Peterson as well also, like I just talked about. He is a guy that has a nice wipeout slider. He just has to work on his control and his confidence. That's really the key for David Peterson. And hopefully the fact that he's healthy now plays very well for him. And Trevor Williams, like I just talked about, guys. I love what I've seen from Trevor Williams, the guy that came from the Javier Baez trade. Definitely, you know, a guy that can just go after hitters. He's not afraid to get outs. And yeah, that's pretty much, guys, the rotation, the state of the Mets rotation in 2022. Let me know what you guys think about it, honestly. I know that a lot of people want different trades. They want Frankie Montes. They want Luis Castillo. I just personally don't think that's going to happen right now. I think the Mets are going to stick out the rotation the way it is. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. But guys, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Push those notifications. Let's be on the road to 300 subscribers. And let's keep it going, guys. I love you guys so much. I just want to always end my videos with telling you guys you can do anything that you want to do in your life. Don't let anyone stop you. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you. And yeah, I love GM for life.